Welcome back to another episode of the Tiffany Paul Show. Why are you wearing jeans, Tiffany? Not sweats or like biker shorts. Why would that be? Well, I just came back from a coffee date, so this is what I wear. Also, side note, like as a podcaster and a very curious person, it doesn't really matter to me like if I'm into them or not. Like I can find enjoyment from pretty much any conversation because I ask good questions and I'm very curious. But then again, like you need this person to get to know you. And so I'm asking him all these questions, and then I just kind of paused because I'm like, well, now I've asked him all these questions. It's time for him to ask me a question. And his next question was, yeah, what year did you move here? Like, who fucking cares? Like, that's your next follow-up question, sir. Like, I heard about your, like, ayahuasca ceremony. I heard about your relationship with your ex. I heard about your relationship with your son, coaching his team and what you love about it, what you enjoy doing for fun. And you're going to ask me what year I moved to California. So, welcome to dating. And, we just roll with it. We roll with it. We answered the questions and we moved on. Will I give him a second date? Perhaps TBD. So that's why I'm wearing jeans if you are watching this episode on YouTube. So getting into today's episode, it's going to be a quickie, but in the last episode I talked about how there was a period of time in the fall where I feel like I'd done all this inner work and kind of letting go of patterns and old programs that were like stopping me from stepping into my next level self, but that like my external reality was kind of the same. I was like, well, not much has changed. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to move through life and TBD on what happens next. And so what happened next after I did all that internal work, I moved forward in my life like nothing had changed, if you will, besides me. And everything kind of started getting really chaotic. Like things were going wrong with the business, with the relationship with my ex-husband. Friendships were shifting and changing. Finances were kind of starting to go up and down. I'm in 2 different lawsuits right now, which those things like just got a little like more aggressive. And I'm like, what the actual fuck is happening? Like, I just spent this whole season kind of doing this grief processing and reprogramming of like subconscious beliefs, and I'm feeling much better and stronger and connected to myself. And now yet, my entire world is like getting very chaotic, and yet I feel like I don't feel chaotic inside me anymore like I did this summer. But at the time I didn't understand it, but now that I'm out of it, I'm understanding it, and I want to share it with you because we forget. Like I do know this intuitively because I've gone through this before. But anyways, so what I want to share with you is that the moment I did all this like inner work and letting go and changing who I was internally, even though that didn't guide me at the time to do any sort of making any sort of moves externally to change my life began to basically crumble and get really chaotic. And I have literally recorded episodes on this before where it's like, if your life is falling apart, say fucking thank you. If your life is like a fucking shit show, say fucking thank you, because what is happening is that you've changed internally, and so now your external reality needs to change to fit your internal makeup. And so what I realized is that like as I became more connected to my true self, my essence again, my power, my purpose, that the life that I was living, anything that like fell outside of my highest frequency, my true essence, that was not part of like my highest destiny, my highest path forward, had to fall away. And my human self wasn't making those decisions proactively because I'm like, well, this is good enough. And like there are certain parts of my identity that are very much attached to like my current life. For example, it's like I very much like own my worth. I know my value in business. I very much have envisioned and stepped into this like identity of like a multi-million-dollar business owner, and I'm like, this is who I am. So there's nothing in my mind that had basically that would have allowed me to even consider a career change, because I'm like, this is who I am. And we talk a lot about like these identity shifts that we need to step into our next level selves and acting as if. And I have done that my whole life as well. Like every time I want to make a shift, you step into this new identity of like, who do you want to be, and act accordingly. And the only caveat and problem with that is that sometimes stepping into these next level identities, they aren't actually aligned with what your soul wants. It's like 80% correct, but we ignore the 20% that's like killing our soul. And I heard this quote the other day that I loved from David Guillaume, and he was talking about how easy it is for most of us to just settle for like a 60% happy life, or like, oh yeah, like I'm 60% happy, because it's like, what I need to do in order to get like 80% happy or 100% happy, like I'm not really willing to do that. And I feel like I had fallen into that where I'm like, well, I'm 60% happy and 60% is the majority of the time. So I am just going to continue with the status quo. And so maybe there's something in your life where you're like telling yourself it's okay because you're 60% happy or it's working majority of the time, but you're literally lying to yourself around the truth of what it is that your soul really wants. And the mind gets involved and there's fear. Is it worth the risk? Or do I just stay 60% happy? And how often do we deny the truth of what our soul is trying to tell us because we're like, it's easier to stay stuck than it is to make a change. So I will share more about like how I'm navigating all this in a later episode, because what happens when our internal changes is that it will naturally reorder the external. Like we can fight it all we want and deny it, but like it will naturally start creating problems and chaos. Basically, it's like life will fucking be like, will you fucking let go? Let fucking go. Let go. It's like like if you ever like played fetch with a dog, you know, and you like try to like get the bone out or the ball, you're like, let go, let go. Like that's most of us. It's like, you're not supposed to be here. Just fucking let go. Like let fucking go. And I'm like, I'm not going to let go. This is how I pay the bills. This is the company I built. I'm not going to fucking let it go. Like I put so much into this. I'm not going to fucking let it go. And like there's this that's called the sunk cost fallacy, where it's like, we also lie to ourselves and we say we put so much into it so I can't walk away now. And like that's absolutely not true. It's like you put all your chips in the middle and then you're like, well, I can't take them out. Well, you actually can take them out. Like you can take a loss, if you will. And at the same time, like staying, you're just going to keep going more and more in the hole. You're not going to win, you know? And we lie to ourselves and we think we're going to win. You have to look at like what is true for you, what is aligned for you, and what your soul is guiding you to do next, you know? Our human mind will come in and try to keep us comfortable at all costs and rationalize and logic our way into what we should do. And the reality is that we have to really get clear about what our soul wants and move from that place, because if we don't listen, what's going to happen is like chaos and crumbling will occur around us. And that could even look like you're being taught your lesson through your body breaking down, or different health challenges, or even things breaking in your home. Like there will be more challenges that occur oftentimes when things need to change up. You know, there are times that challenges occur because you're exactly where you're meant to be, but you are being expanded and strengthened. And so it's like you're in this new aligned timeline and challenges are happening because they're strengthening you so that you're ready for where you're going. And then there's times where challenges are happening because you're supposed to let go, and only you know the difference. Because like when the chaos starts happening, that's where you have to tap in and say like, are these challenges happening because I'm trying to grow as a person? I'm becoming a better person. I'm being strengthened. Or is it because the universe is telling me like, this is no longer an aligned path? And so you have to just be in touch with your body. You have to know when your body is telling you like things are falling apart because I'm being redirected. And there are times where your body is just literally uncomfortable because you're being expanded and forced into like your next level you. And so can you be more expanded? Can you be stronger? Can you be less reactive? Can you be more connected to who you are even when things are not going your way? All right, guys, that concludes today's episode. If you were on YouTube, the video got so messed up. And so I'm just wrapping the episode early, and I will see you all here again next week.